Does anyone really care about this Thursday night football game? Honestly, the answer is no. It's the Jets and it's the Patriots. The Jets, though they've won 2 straight games, are still an awful organization that is once again going to be looking for a quarterback. Meanwhile, there's the Patriots. They've been good this year. Drake May is an MVP candidate, as he should be. However, it's the Patriots. A lot of people still dislike them from the Tom Brady era. Plus, they're honoring Rob Gronkowski, a member of that era. Everybody, welcome to Seiko Squad tonight. My name's Mike. As you can see, riding solo tonight. Grandpa Jay and John are off preparing their Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Philadelphia Eagles, respectively, for what is expected to be the eventual NFC Championship game. And I'll get it out of the way now. Go Bucks, go Birds. There, you've had it for your episode. We get it every week. So there it is. Let's talk about things that are really important. The first thing, speaking of the Eagles, being, will everyone just leave A.J. Brown alone? I mean, my God, I'm tired of hearing week after week about how, oh, look at this face he made. Look at this body language. Oh, look at this. He said this, all that. He must be unhappy. He must hate Jalen Hurts. He must hate the Eagles. He wants to be traded. Now, he doesn't want to be traded. I'm sick and tired of it. He cleared the air with reporters. He said his frustration is with the offense lack of production as a whole versus any one person, teammate, anything like that. And you know what? I'm inclined to believe him, because most of the time these days when a wide receiver becomes a diva and wants out, it's a very public thing. It doesn't really matter what receiver it is. It doesn't matter what player it is anymore, honestly. They are very vocal about the fact they want out. I think if A.J. Brown really wanted out, he would just say so. Players aren't afraid anymore to, disrupt the team. They're just honest about how they feel most of the time. And I'm tired of reporters trying to grill Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown. And this comes from a Giants fan, mind you. I'm tired of hearing about it because I keep saying I think the Eagles are still the best team in the NFL. And again, Giants fan, tough for me to admit, but they really are. I think they're the deepest team. I think they're going to be a team that, they may not look as impressive during the regular season as you might think they would, but at the same time, I think they're built to win the playoffs. It's like the Dodgers. The Dodgers didn't have as good of a regular season as everybody expected they would, but they won the World Series. They were built to win in the playoffs, and that's exactly what they did, which is what I think the Eagles are. But in the meantime, can we find a better story than A.J. Brown's still upset? Can we not nitpick the body language and what he has to say? Because it's a retread of a story that these reporters keep looking for instead of finding actual interesting ones. So honestly, stop it. But let's talk about the best team in the NFC East normally. They really aren't. It's the New York Football Giants. It's my favorite team, like I said. And I was very happy. Go to our socials and watch my clip on my reaction as soon as they fired Brian Daboll. I've been screaming from the mountaintops that they needed to fire him. And frankly, they should have fired Joe Shane as well. But that leaves the Giants with a question after this season. Interim coaches Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, who also should be gone. And more than anything, the defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, should be gone. We should really, other than maybe the offensive line coach, wipe this coaching staff clean. But that leaves us with the question, who's the next coach? Who should follow up? And I don't like the rumored name I've been hearing, which is Mike McCarthy. No, just don't even bring him in for an interview. I don't like how he coaches. I don't like his clock management. Yes, he won a Super Bowl. Great. He also had a fantastic Packers team to win that Super Bowl with. He had an MVP in Aaron Rodgers. Prime Aaron Rodgers won him that Super Bowl. And a bunch of prime defensive players, B.J. Raji, Clay Matthews, just to name a few, like great receiving core. He had a good team. He also, on paper, had a pretty good team in Dallas, and he didn't do anything with them. So why do we think he's going to do anything with a still rebuilding Giants team? I don't understand it. I wouldn't understand the hire. Please stay away from him. But who do I want? Well, if he decides to make the jump to the NFL, I want Marcus Freeman. Granted, I'm a little biased in it, in the fact that I am also a Notre Dame fan, and he is the Notre Dame head coach. But I love Marcus Freeman as a coach. I would love to play for him. And rumor has it, again, take everything with a grain of salt with the rumors, that the only way that he would leave Notre Dame is if he got a chance to coach in the NFL. It didn't happen with the Chicago Bears, although apparently they were making a serious run at him. He says he's not leaving Notre Dame until he wins a national championship, which would be fine by me. I'd love him to win a national championship. Why don't we do it this year, Marcus? I think we're an underdog team this year. But if he is making the jump, I want him to get hired by the New York Giants because I love him as a coach. He's young. He connects with his players. Guys want to play for him. And he's a hard-nosed defensive style coach, which is exactly what a team like the Giants needs. They need a guy that's going to be gritty, hard-nosed, blue-collar style football. It is reminiscent of the fan base, of the way they've won before. The 2 Super Bowls that I have seen in my lifetime for the New York Giants have been on the back of their defense. I love Eli Manning. I love what he brought to the organization. He was a tough individual, Iron Man streak, all that. I think he's a better quarterback than people give him credit for, but he really shouldn't have gotten either of those MVPs in the Super Bowl. To be honest, it should have gone to defensive players. But they went to Eli. The team won on the back of the defense. So let's bring in a defensive coach that knows how to play that hard-nosed defense. That's Marcus Freeman. Other than that, I'm not really sure who's out there that would really be a better choice. I mean, no one really comes to mind. I think it might be a case of seeing who else might be available from the college ranks, who might be available in the NFL, who might get fired in the meantime. I really don't know, but honestly, go hire Marcus Freeman. If you can get him to leave Notre Dame, he should be the guy. And on a side note, rehire Wink Martindale as your defensive coordinator, please. It's his dream defense as far as a pass rush goes. And that's why I want Shane Bowen fired, because he doesn't consistently rush the quarterback with the talent he has. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter, just to start with, let alone Dexter Lawrence. It's a dream for a guy that loves to blitz like Wink. So bring him back from Michigan. Again, if you can get him to leave. I know these are big what ifs as far as guys that will leave, but I really want these guys on the staff. You know, another story that's been going around, and we talk about New York. I know it's a very New York-centered thing, but I love my teams. Paul Skenes, congratulations to him, Pittsburgh Pirates. Won a unanimous Cy Young last night, and rightly so. I was going to riot if he did not win because it's not his fault. The Pirates are awful. It's not his fault that the fact that if they had scored at least 3 runs, Skenes' record would have been 25-2, which is insane. And then if he doesn't win a unanimous Cy Young, and if he doesn't win MVP, I don't know what we're talking about. But the rumor is that from an anonymous Pirates player, one of his teammates, they haven't named who it is, and I don't think they'll ever name who it is, unless that person comes out someday and says that he knows that Skenes wants to be a New York Yankee, that he's said it multiple times behind the scenes that he wants to be a Yankee. And I love it. Please, Paul, come to the New York Yankees. Get Pittsburgh to trade you to the Yankees because I love the way you pitch. You're young, talented, and I think you fit in perfectly with the future of this organization, both now and moving forward as the team ace. But on the other side of it, as someone that is a baseball fan and wants baseball to be the best sport it possibly can, I don't think the Pirates should trade him. At some point, Pittsburgh, and I was talking to a Pirates fan I work with, Don Tanner, earlier today about it, and this is what I said to him. At some point, you got to keep somebody. You keep developing pitching a la the Rays, the Marlins, and being a feeder system for the contending teams, your Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, Astros, all those types of things. At some point, you got to keep somebody. And if there's anybody to build your pitching staff around, it's Paul Skenes. It should have been Garrett Cole, honestly. But I'm happy he's a Yankee. You gave him to the Astros first, which I didn't like, but I'm happy he's a Yankee now. But you got to go for it at some point in your history. And this is the guy to go for it with. You have had young players to build around. You have young players and veterans to build around. Kutch isn't getting any younger. And frankly, he might retire now that he's set a bunch of franchise records and reached certain milestones. He might retire after next season. I haven't heard that he's retiring going into next season, so I'm imagining he's playing. But you have the foundation to keep building this team. Get Kutch a World Series, get Skenes a World Series, and actually try to contend instead of half-assing your way to contending sort of for the NL Central, which at this point you're not going to be able to do because I don't think the Brewers are going to get any worse. The Cubs, I think, are going to get better. The Reds are getting better. The Cardinals, I can't imagine, are staying down for long, and you're going to be in the cellar of the Central forever if you keep letting this happen. So please, for the love of baseball, if you're not going to give him to the Yankees, keep Paul Skenes. Don't give him to the Dodgers, for the love of God, and actually be a contending team. Because your fans deserve it. Those that have stuck by you, which is a vast majority of them, throughout your franchise's history, deserve to have a contender, a legit contender, instead of having to think back to, are we ever going to do what we did in 1960, which was actually upset a Yankees team. Bill Mazeroski walk-off home run. Give them something to hope for. Before I get out of here, I do want to do one thing real quick. I want to see if they've named the AL MVP, because if they have, I'm going to give you my live reaction. If not, I'll give you my thoughts before I get out of here. So let's see. The MLB, have they named themselves an AL MVP? They've named an NL MVP. It is Shohei Ohtani, which makes total sense, and I would have been shocked beyond words if he didn't win. Did they give it? They have not yet named the AL MVP. Well, they're probably about to in a little bit, now that they've named Shohei the NL MVP, which was the more obvious of the two. It should be Aaron Judge. I agree with what John said on Tuesday. Aaron Judge should win AL MVP because I get it. Cal Raleigh did something incredible. He had an incredible season. He hit 60-plus home runs. First catcher to ever do it. You know, switch hitting, great defense, all that on a Cinderella team in Seattle that challenged Toronto, who challenged the world champion LA Dodgers. But Aaron Judge topped Raleigh in almost, other than RBI, every other statistical category. And if you're really going to go a league of analytics, like it seems like they're all going to, and you're going to look at stats, Aaron Judge had a much better overall season than Cal Raleigh did. Also, I dare say Aaron Judge is a better outfielder than Cal Raleigh is a catcher. Now, I get it. Two different positions with two different jobs a lot of the time, as far as the catcher's always having the ball coming at them. Outfielder has to wait until the ball is hit to them. But I think, pound for pound, Aaron Judge is a better player than Cal Raleigh. He was a better player than Cal Raleigh and therefore deserves the AL MVP. So here's hoping that after I get off of here, they're going to name Aaron Judge AL MVP as he rightly deserves. Sorry, Jose Ramirez. It's a two-horse race. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. We're going to be back next week for more content. Stay tuned this weekend through all the NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, the MLB awards, all that. We're going to be all over social media at Cinco Squad Pod 05 on all platforms. We'll be back. Stay tuned for what content we got coming over the weekend, and I'll see you next time.